Yeah, it's you come now. Can you see me and just am I visible?
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Shall I wait for everyone to join? We can wait for a couple of minutes.
Okay, ma'am.
I have cancelled the video.
What is it? What is the message? Just
നമസ്കാരം. ഗവൺമെന്റ് കോളേജ് ഓഫ് എഞ്ചിനീയറിംഗ് കണ്ണൂരിലെ നാഷണൽ സർവീസ് സ്കീം 141, 257, 265 എന്നീ യൂണിറ്റുകളുടെ ഭാഗമായി അന്താരാഷ്ട്ര വനിതാ ദിനമായ ഇന്ന് സർവീസ് ടു ദ മദർലാൻഡ് വി ആർ സെക്കൻഡ് ടു ദ നൺ എന്ന വിഷയത്തിൽ നമ്മളോട് സംസാരിക്കാൻ എത്തിയ മേജർ ദിവ്യ പിള്ളയെ ആദ്യമായി ഈ പരിപാടിയിലേക്ക് സ്വാഗതം ചെയ്യുന്നു. മേജർ ദിവ്യ പിള്ളൈ ഇന്ത്യൻ ആർമിയിൽ നിന്ന് വിരമിച്ച വ്യക്തിയാണ്. യൂണിവേഴ്സിറ്റി ഓഫ് ലീഡ്സിൽ നിന്ന് എഞ്ചിനീയറിംഗിൽ MS, സർ JJ കോളേജ് ഓഫ് ആർക്കിടെക്ചർ മുംബൈയിൽ നിന്ന് BR, IIM ഇൻഡോറിൽ നിന്ന് എക്സിക്യൂട്ടീവ് MBA, NICMAR പൂനെയിൽ നിന്ന് കൺസ്ട്രക്ഷൻ സേഫ്റ്റി മാനേജ്മെന്റ് കോഴ്സ് എന്നിവ ചെയ്തിട്ടുണ്ട്. അതേപോലെ തന്നെ ഇവിടെ വന്നിരിക്കുന്ന എല്ലാ NSS വോളണ്ടിയേഴ്സിനെയും ഈ പരിപാടിയിലേക്ക് സ്വാഗതം ചെയ്യുന്നു. നന്ദി.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm so happy that I'm here, and I'm honored to be part of this prestigious government engineering college from Kannur to give a speech on a webinar as a lady officer, as a professional, and as a woman on this prestigious day of Women's Day. So I feel extremely honored also that 4 years back, I had given a speech on career development and career orientation and opportunities for women and men to join armed forces in KV. And from there, apparently somebody still has my number, and that's when this association happened. I am heartfelt gratitude and thanks to everyone who still remembers. And I'm very honored to be part of this talk. So let's begin. My name is Major Divya Pillai. I'm a retired Army officer, and right now I'm a practicing architect. I did my bachelor's from JJ College of Architecture, Bombay. Then I joined Army after that, served for around 6-7 years. After that, I came out, did my master's from University of Leeds in construction project management. Before that, I went to IIM as part of my final adieu to the Army. I did my executive MBA from IIM Indore. After that, did a NICMAR course, graduate course in construction safety management. Then worked with corporate as a green building associate and sustainability architect for 3 years. Then decided to start on my own. So speaking about life experiences and a life in the Army literally starts from how a child is raised, dreams, ambitions, willpower, courage, fearlessness, and self-complacency. I think today's talk is not specific for women. And Women's Day is only a day where women are felicitated, appreciated. I think it's every day, day-to-day life. And today that women and men are in par in every facet and field of life, I think Women's Day can be celebrated on a daily basis. Second is, as a girl, I never felt that I was any different than a boy. I think because I was motivated and encouraged to take part in every extracurricular activities, and my parents played a key role in these two key facets, that is encouragement and confidence. With their encouragement, I could do well in college, in sports, elocution, science exhibitions, and dance, drama, and even I was the head girl of my school. And then later, it gave me the confidence to pursue a number of talents. And with their blessing, I could go ahead and pursue all that I wanted apart from academic excellence. Why am I telling you this? Is because this is the first lesson to anybody's success that one should learn is participation, competition, and sportsman spirit. So when we talk about the Indian Army, these are the first things that will be checked when you're going for any SSB, when you're an officer, when you're leading your men into battle. Basically, you have to participate in every aspect. Competition is even in the Army. It's not a cakewalk. You have to earn it. So you have to, even when you're going for your SSB, it's all competition. Confidence is a major part of your self-personality. That again, all this builds up in your initial years. So starting from school, then right now, all of you all are in your professional education level. So in professional, now the next thing is after school, what I did was plan my future. My father was a retired naval officer. He's no more. And I always used to see him. My grandfather was a retired Air Force officer. So I always used to see these two gentlemen and think that I need to be like them. But that time, during my time, there was no entry for lady officers, only in the medical corps. Then I had to struggle, but I didn't like medicine. So I decided to go architecture. And after that, when I decided to study and finish my 5 years of architecture, silently getting ready to join the forces. Then there was women entry scheme in different ways. So I went through the technical entry scheme. Why is it special for you guys? Because you are all graduates, and that too technical graduates, engineers. That is only open for engineers. So I went through the technical entry scheme. Then also I only went for SSB and I joined OTA. Today also there is no UPSC exam for us. You go for SSB and then you join OTA, IMA, that is if you're a boy, and OTA for women. Now, so the next most important facet of my life was this professional career. 5 years is what architecture takes to make you an architect, bachelor's in architecture. 5 years, I not only excelled in academics, but also made sure that I participated in extracurricular activities, which would, enhance or beautify my CV. So from now, for what I used to do was participate in design competitions, start talking to a group of people, being a part of group discussion wherein there are competitions, explain your design, explain your work, and so on and so forth. So I also teamed up with architects who were in the field, learned a lot from them, seen how they talk about this, working on my personal skills. Then I also became the general secretary of my college in the 3rd year. So this also added to my leadership qualities. So leadership is not only that you start becoming a general secretary or a head girl or a monitor. No. Leadership is where you can take on a particular project. Like right now, somebody is conducting this webinar. So the person who is conducting a webinar and trying to get all of you is also exposing her leadership qualities or building on it. So same thing I would like to tell you too, that tomorrow, if you want to be part of any competitive side in life, anything, whether you want to build your CV, whether you want to work on your personal skills, please participate in each and every event that you can. This is the last opportunity you have as a graduate, as an engineering graduate. After this, college is over. Probably some people go into post-graduation, but post-graduation, again, I'll come to that. After that, when I went to University of Leeds, again, I went to Britain because I preferred their way of life. It was a very nice education technique. It's much better than what was provided in India when it comes to post-graduation level, or when it will come even to doctorate level. So their way of streamlined level way of education was what attracted me to take post-graduation in the UK. Again, there you have lot of, there's nobody who teaches you there. Everything is self-taught. So that's where my 3rd lesson, which I want you to learn from life experiences from my side, whether it is not army per se, but it is how you build yourself initially, that will take you to a certain level of self personality development. So some things after the army, when I joined post-graduation, I realized that to get into corporate field, you really need to have an amalgamation of discipline in the army and also, work culture in the corporate. So again, from there, now you'll ask me, why am I discussing this? Because life in the army doesn't end. There is life beyond army. So if you really think that after graduation, you can join army and after short service of 14 years or a PC of 20 years, and then you want to get out and there is nothing left in the world, no. You will get such an open ocean of avenues that your pay scale will be brilliant. You will get opportunities abroad. You will get opportunities within your own country. And since you have an army stamp on your name, You are a much streamlined professional. You can deal with any kind of circumstances, any kind of stress, any kind of intentions, any kind of takes in your life. Discipline is your backbone. So these are small things which people see. That's why they take ex-army officers. Second is when I joined Army, that was how. After graduation, I gave my service selection board. And after service selection board, I was asked to join OTA. Then OTA training was 6 months. 6 months of rigorous training. Training those days were such that you had to be trained from day 1 to the 6th month end, that you look and you behave and you're physically in par with your male counterparts who have a training of 1 year. So it is tough. Nowadays, the training is increased to 1 year. So we are in par. Men and women train in OTA for 1 year. Now, after OTA, then you join the Indian Army. Now, you'll ask me, did you feel lonely being the only lady officer in Army? Because in my unit, I was the only lady officer with around 12 gentlemen officers and 800 men. Now you'll tell me, how did you feel? Were you feeling lonely? Was it tough? Yes, it was difficult, but it is easy. It is the way you carry yourself. Now, Army teaches you a lot of. Finally, it's not like that, when you join and then you change. No, it's a slow upgradation of your personality, and finally, from there, you are trained to become, an officer with so much of personality skills. You have determination, you have willpower, and these are some things which your men look at you. And after all, you have to lead them. You have to lead them in war. You have to lead them in day-to-day aspects. You have to be an officer who will be there for them at any point of time. And it is a job. It is a job for your country. So at that point of time, when you join the forces, that's it. You know that this is what you have to do. This is your job profile. There is no looking back. And the training hardens you. So that is where you become a different personality. So whenever you look at Army people, you'll be like, oh, wow, they look so good. They talk so well. They act so well. They are such gentlemen. Yes. So that is how you are trained. You are trained to be a gentleman. You are trained to be a woman in the olive green. So now being a woman in the olive green is also a challenge, because we are few, and we are always speculated under the microscope for whatever we do. We wear, what do we wear? How do we talk? The way we talk to our jawans, the way we talk to fellow officers, subordinates or seniors, the way we conduct ourselves. If we are given a task, it will be scrutinized from 0.1 mm to 100%. So there is no chance of someone poking or pointing a hand at us or finger at us, because if someone does, then that's it. So always those women join who have the willpower and determination. Those women join who know what they want to do. Those women join because they have passion. So do women, but women are in minority. There are only 1,650 lady officers today in service, compared to 43,000 male officers. So what do you expect? So each one has to prove themselves. And let me give you a couple of examples from your own hometown. We have Lieutenant Colonel Ruby, who is from Kannur. We have Major Sushmita Warrior, who is also from Kannur. And I'm very proud to say that she's from my unit, Corps of Engineers. And today, as we speak, she is the one lady officer who has been chosen to go for an international war exercise with the US Army to Seychelles. I can't tell you where she's training right now, but she's the one lady officer out of so many who's physically fit and has been chosen. She's in service, and she's my junior from my own regiment. And I'm really proud to take her name today. And she's from Kannur. So I'm so happy that women from the south are also, and let me tell you, most of the women from the South are very hardworking, if you see. I don't want to be racist in terms of places, but it is something which I have noticed. Everybody is hardworking, but we are a little physically unfit when it comes to training. When I'm very blunt and honest, I was not very fit because I was, yes, mentally good. I could excel in any kind of entrance exams, but physically to run suddenly 10 kilometers, no, it was not my cakewalk. But yeah, but my course mates who are from Haryana, who are from Punjab, all had these extracurricular activities part of their curriculum, so they were very, very confident, and they all excelled in physicals also. So, but I'm very proud to say that these two lady officers, one who has just become a lieutenant colonel, and the other one who's Major Sushmita Warrior, she's highly mentally fit, and today physically fit, and today she's running in par with all the best marines and all these para people who are training to participate in the US exercise, US Indo exercise, which is going to happen in Seychelles. And I'm really proud to mention this to you. So it's not that women can be any less than men. Let me tell you one more thing at this juncture. I would like to stress upon a couple of points. Remember, we are not weak when we are called women, or when we come to the term as women. We are not weak anymore. No one can coerce you to do anything that you don't want to do. It is now, this is for both genders, male or female. It is all in your mind. If you have the determination and willpower to achieve what you want, your mind is what will help you achieve it. If you think, oh my God, I can't talk. Oh my God, I'm not fluent. No, it is your mind that makes you think that way. You have to have a positive, you have to have a focused mindset. The way you train your mind to achieve something is where you will achieve success in life. It was not easy for me. Now everybody will say, what is your height? I'm only 5'1". Now you'll say, are 5'1" allowed in the army? Yes, I finished my graduation, I finished my engineering and then joined army. And the minimum is 4'9". So it's okay. That did not deter my determination. So army is some place, or any field for that matter. You have to have the willpower. You have to do it. Nothing comes on a platter. You have to work towards it. Leaving army, I have so many examples of women in today's world who I really look forward to. I really appreciate them, because they are women who are very strong when it comes to personality, what they have achieved for themselves. If you read, I love reading biographies, and I really appreciate if you guys also read biographies, because biographies really give you an open alternative, an open area of understanding about a person. And if you just see, women are not only famous in the army. I'm just talking about Indian Army. They're famous in so many other sectors in the world. Politics. We have, from the past, we have Indira Gandhi. Then we have our first president, Pratibha Patil. Then we have late Sushma Swaraj. Yes, I was a big fan of her diction. She was one of the best people who used to speak, and I always wanted to talk like her. And I took some part of her and imbibed it in my day-to-day life. Then you have Margaret Alva is a politician, Indian politician. I really admire her as well. And from childhood, I always wanted to talk like her, confidently, and know the subject, and the way she conducts webinars and speeches. Her diction was so strong. Yes, these are some women in politics which I adore. Then there are so many in sports. And then, of course, I also would like to mention the first female pilot. And she also is her name is Avni Chaturvedi. She first flew the MiG-21 Bison. And that is a big achievement. I never expected, like from the time I joined Indian Army in 2005, and when I came out in 2011, we never had fighter pilots, and it was like a taboo to even talk about it. But I'm very happy that today it is it is actually part and parcel of the forces. And I'm sure from now on, everything is going to be changed. We are going to have a very new system that we are going to imbibe. All of you who are planning to join the forces, even 5%, even 2% of you, if you're planning to join the forces after your graduation, after being engineers, then avenues are a lot. Today you have permanent commission also. Last year, I'm sure if you know, if you've read the news, the High Court has agreed for 557 lady officers to get permanent commission. That is a big achievement. Because just imagine, lady officers have given their life for 14 years in the army. After that, they have asked for extension. Most of them are married with women, with children. They manage their own house, and they manage everything. And they all want to have permanent commission for their secure life and to secure their children's life. Men, of course, their husbands, if they are army officers, they all will be deployed on border. Women every time cannot be deployed on the border. In the younger years, you are deployed. In the other years, you are actually planning the deployment. So you're taken a back step. But after that, what? So I'm very happy that today PC is granted. I'm very proud of the fact. My own course mates who did not leave the army today are lieutenant colonels and are PC. PC is permanent commission. So men already had permanent commission. They have a choice. They can take permanent commission or they can leave after. Women, my scale of that time, we had to serve for 5 years and another 5 years and then another 4 years. So 14 years with a break of 554. But now compulsory, it's 10 years. And then you can either continue for another 4 years, or if you are mentally fit, you're physically fit, and your ACRs speaks for themselves, then you can continue for 20 years and retire with pension. So army is an option for pensionable job. And mind you, army is the only option for pensionable job today. It's the central government's only job today that gives you pension. So if anyone is thinking about army, please do. If you have it in you, and if you think that you can serve the country. For me, it was passion to wear the uniform. For me, it was passion to serve the country. For me, it was, I don't know, I just wanted to wear the uniform and see those ranks on me. And I still have a photograph of my father and me looking at each other when I was just commissioned, and I looked like a brat, like a boy. Because of training, you lose your color and you just shrink. And then my father looking at me like it was a dream come true. That photograph can never elapse from my memory. So these are small instances which, really motivate you to join forces. For me, it was love for the country, of course, because I'm brought up in a military, armed forces background. But apart from that, it is also love for the country. It's also respect for the uniform. It is a lifestyle. It is, yes, of course, it is a salary today. Minimum is 56. So when you enter as a lieutenant, you get 56,000, which is, I think 56,000 is the minimum entry salary to, I think, 1,77,000 if you're a technical graduate. So I think 1 lakh for just entering the army after training is amazing. I don't think any other sector will give you that. Next is, then also some people used to ask me, is it difficult to face, Javans, and, is it tough to be on the border, work in a unit? I'm like, it is not difficult, but it's not easy also. Like, when you are in the army, you are judged because you're only one lady officer in between 8 or 10 men officers. So it is very important that it's not in the army alone. It's in every sector, public, private sector. You have to prove yourself. It's a male, I shouldn't say it, but it is a stark truth. It still prevails. It's a male-dominated society. But even in this male-dominated society, you have women leaders taking you all across. Look in the corporate field. My all-time favorite is Miss Majumdar. Sure. She's one of my very iconic corporate successful women. Indira Nui. I really appreciate such names in corporate field. Journalism also. Every field, they have to prove themselves. It's not, you won't get anything on a platter. If you're a woman, you have to prove yourself. That's a stark truth and honest truth of life. And women have dual responsibilities, because it's not that they are only working and excelling in their professional side. No, they're also doing well in their personal side. They have to look after their children. Of course, nowadays women, and I don't say it is wrong. It is absolutely fine if women have the right to speak whether they want to have children or whether they don't want to have children. It's okay. Whatever suits you. There are so many of my course mates who don't want to get married. It's fine. It's whatever suits you. Nobody has to coerce you to get into any kind of responsibility that you don't want to. It is your wish. I am a mother today. I have a son. His name is Advait Harikrishnan. He's hardly 2 years, but I've started to train him. Basically, why I'm saying this is because, here we have a lot of boys also in the group in this webinar. Women's Day is not a celebration of only women. Women's Day is a celebration of your mother, of your sisters, of your girlfriends, because they're all with you. And the way you respect them is the way you have been brought up. So I think as a woman, it is very important to bring up your children in such a way that they respect women tomorrow. See, there are 80% of people amongst you, 20% whose parents will be very happy to let you do what you want as a girl. But 80% need permission. Everybody needs permission, but there are some people who need extra permission. You can't just leave the house and come back at 12 o'clock in the night. But at the same time, there are, I have to say, but there are some people who are suppressed that after graduation, you have to get married. You don't have a choice of your own. But if today, as individuals, we decide that tomorrow when we have our offspring, we bring them up in such a way that they have respect. They have respect for thought. They have respect for speech. They have respect for the other sex. Tomorrow your son gets married. What you have imbibed, what you have taught him, he is going to do in his future. Please bring equality at home. Teach your children, teach your son and daughter to do the same job. It is not a job that a girl has to do. It is a job. It is not a job. It's a duty to oneself. It's survival. If we have to eat food, we will have to learn to eat food. Tomorrow, we are at the brink of a World War III. We should know how to survive. So it's not that a woman has to wash clothes, a woman has to cook. Everybody has to cook. And I'm very proud to say that my husband, so did my father, and my father-in-law, and my brother-in-law, all are exemplary men who help their wives in day-to-day aspects of life. And I'm very, very fortunate to have such a husband. And that, let me commend the mother. She is the main reason behind them being such successful men, and also helping their wives to be successful women in professional sectors. So why am I saying this on Women's Day? Is because a child, we always say that, why are you saying this on Women's Day? You should talk about women. No, we should talk about women being mothers, good mothers, so that our boys tomorrow can stand up and, respect their wives, their girlfriends. The respect starts from home. Education starts from home. Nobody else is going to teach you this apart from what is taught at home. That's the first place where you learn things, observe things, follow things. That's the first place where discipline is born. That's the first place where you learn to speak. So speak well. Where you learn to act. So act properly. Where you learn to respect. So know what you're respecting. This is a forum for all men and women to understand that Women's Day is not a particular day of the year. Women's Day is to celebrate a woman every day, celebrate a mother, is to celebrate a wife, celebrate a daughter, celebrate a sister. So if you see, it's not what you do, it's not what they do. It is also how you help them to do. They are all actually incredibly important in your life. They're role players. So if you are going to be the future of your children, be a good one. That is on the basis of Women's Day. Now, let me come back to Indian Army. So it's not the army also where we see such requirements. Tomorrow, I'm not saying all of you all will join the Indian Army. But whatever I have learned from the army is also today, because I have worked in the corporate sector. I'm not a big fan. But in the corporate sector also, women are really outshining men. So it is the way you train your mind. It is the way you learn your skills. It is the way you are perfect. It's the way people judge you. Let me be very, very frank and honest. You have to find or pave your path to success. All these famous women's names that I just blurted out around 10 minutes back, they didn't get anything on a platter. They all made it for themselves. So they have built their future. They have become multimillionaires on their own accord. They have become politicians because of their own work. They have become the first Air Force pilot because of her own skill. And all these people have really succumbed all obstacles and proved themselves that they are the best. So I think on this day, all of you, whether men or women, should understand that if you have to mutually respect each other because tomorrow you are going to take over the world. You are going to be the next politician. You're going to be the next president, prime minister, who knows? But it is the way you see, you nurture your mind, you nurture your children. That is how it is going to work. Now, let's come back to the army. So, there are right now, if you see, I think almost all of you know that this year, girls were allowed to write the NDA exam. So this is path-breaking. So next we will have, what I have, the inside birdie already, I know the information somewhat because we keep talking, we are part of groups. So girls will also be inducted into the National Defense Academy, which is a very, very path-breaking aspect. Already we have women in OTA, and that is Indian Army I'm talking about. Indian Navy also has entry. Indian Air Force also has entry. Indian Air Force still does not have a permanent commission for technical entries. You can work for 14 years. And Indian Navy has an option. But now Indian Army is having an option. You have to work for 10 years compulsory, after which you will have to work for 4 years. And then depending upon your merit and depending upon your service documents and your performance, you will be granted PC like any other short service male officer. So these are certain aspects about entry. Apart from this, if you have any doubts, we will be also talking about them once the webinar is over. But just to sum it up and put all into a nutshell, my message for women again is that education starts at home. Train your children, even for men. Train your children first. A mother can only make or break a child. That's all. So train your sons to show respect. Train your son and daughter to equally have equality at home. Then, both of you it's important that everybody does their own job. That's how you learn. That's how you learn if it's a bigger picture. Then people become comfortable to take orders from a woman because everything starts from home. If you see a bigger picture, see down. Everybody. It's easier to take an order from a woman. It's very difficult, no? In the army, it was very difficult in the beginning to take orders from a woman. But slowly, army grew into it because people started seeing more lady officers. That's why they could take orders. But still, in infantry, artillery, the fighting arms, they have not seen lady officers. It's difficult for them to adjust. Only they see is medical corps. Why? Everywhere, in all corporate field, in any field, there's a little hesitation to be part of, to take orders from seniors, from a lady. Because everything starts from home. Teach equality, teach your children to grow as better individuals, teach your sons to be better individuals, and be a good mother. And also, it's respect, it's teaching equality, it's the stark truth. You have to follow these things in life to be successful. Discipline, yes. Confidence, you have to have the confidence in you. Without that, you can't judge yourself. People will judge you, but you have to have the confidence so that people don't have anything left to judge you. If you are embarking on a journey where you know that you have a lot of obstacles, a lot of entrance exams, a lot of interviews, start now. Build the confidence. You can. It's all a mind game. Let me tell you. It is just your mind. If you accept it, you can do it. And that's when the future generation will come and respect women, accept women, and follow women. And that's when the world will be a much better place. But yes, it starts from today. It starts from what you are. And as a retired army officer, as a mother, that's my message on Women's Day. I'm very proud of the life that till now that I have lived. From now, right now, I am a freelancing architect. I am the boss of my works. I have men under me who take orders from me, do the work. So it's a tough job because it's part of construction, and construction is not a women's job actually. If you see, it's a very male-centered job. But I'm very, very, very proud that more women are getting into this field, not architecture per se, but construction. And I'm very happy that post-army, the kind of qualities that I could imbibe from my armed forces and put it into corporate world is exceptional. And that's what army doesn't end there. Corporate world, if you go for an interview and if you have ex-army people, also ex-armed forces, they normally take them because they have the experience to deal with men. They have the experience to deal with tough situations. They have the diction, the vocabulary, the confidence. Everything is there. They can manage. They can multitask. And all these are skills which these people learn from the army. Whether you are from Indian Army, Indian Air Force, or Indian Navy, it's basically like you have been polished you have done a small business management course in HR. And that's where half of the army people, by the way, get absorbed in HR because they can manage HR well. And as engineers, probably we get very highly placed. So I was very well placed when I got into my corporate job, but it was too hectic for me. I wanted to start something on my own. But my fellow counterparts are all very highly placed with a pay package of 24 to 36 to 48 lakhs per annum. So that's your starting pay. So it's not that army is the end or armed forces is the end. After you leave armed forces also, you have a very brilliant career option. Many of my course mates are today in public sector. They are in government jobs. Some have joined the police. Some have joined, public sector in Haryana. Some have joined in Gujarat. So, and some are now going to join politics. So everything is an open avenue. I have a couple of my course-mates who are really doing well abroad. They are right now CEOs of companies, architecture companies. Two of my course-mates are running architecture companies abroad. So it's not that life ends at once you leave army. No, there's no retirement for us. And after that, life begins in a new sector. So right now, as I enjoy my own freedom, but with a very rich legacy of, for serving in the Indian Army, I'm very proud of that fact. And today, Major will never leave me. I'm an Indian Army retired officer, but I'm still Major Divya Pillai. So with this, I would like to end this webinar from my side, and I invite questions from your side. So we'll have a very interactive session. I am tired of hearing my voice. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Anybody would like to ask some questions?